To give you guys this session right there. I'm going to choose how are you going to choose your next property session, right? So this is something that I'm going to do very just for this audience. Okay, I'm going to do and I will run a very in-depth assessment for you. Okay, absolutely free. Special. I will do an in-depth assessment and to show you what you should do for your next plan. All right, whether it's now, whether it's 3 years later, 5 years later, doesn't matter. I just want to do this as a also as a giving back because I know many of you wanting to do something but you do not know where to start. Maybe this can help you. And please do that. And I just want to give you guys a quick statement. All right, history doesn't usually repeat itself, but looking at our past and our current, we more or less are able to actually see how our future in terms of property is going to be. Because everything is a cycle, right? The past is where you learn the lesson. Because if previously the strategies that my dad used, if I never learn from him and I still use whatever strategy that he has today, I don't think I will be here to share with you in terms of property knowledge. But last thing that I want you all to actually take back from today is some of all these questions. I want you all to really go back, and then mentally just think about, do you think your current HDB or condo is still a lifelong asset or liability? Whether you have this property for the last 5 or 10 years, doesn't matter. I want you to start thinking, moving forward, how can this actually still help in your current future plans for you or your family? All right, you also must know, how much CPF you have really been locked in your account. Okay, this one is more relevant. Okay, I have to put a number age to this. So I'm not targeting anybody. But if you are within the age of 49 to 53, okay, this one is what you need to look into. Many times we have been paying using our CPF, paying monthly, year after year, and you didn't know how much your CPF have grown. You'll be shocked to see how much money is inside, and do we still have the possibility of unlocking it out? All right, so these are some of the things that I want you all to just take note. Why this age? Oh, sorry. Why this age? Is because give me a second. Why 49 to 53? At least if we plan it earlier, we prepare earlier before our minimum sum is being locked in, right? We can still leverage it maybe one more time. All right, we didn't know. All right. So another question you must ask yourself is, why is the current property market coming down, and then why your property is coming down and then other segments are actually growing higher? Is there something that you are missing out or something that you are unaware of? These are all really real questions I want you all to take note. How many more years do you have? Okay, I always say I'm already in my 40s. If I met me 10, 15 years ago, I definitely will be in a better position. Unfortunately, I don't have a DeLorean Back to the Future car to transport me back and to advise me myself. I wish I had that. So today, I'm in my 40s. I have to do catch up game. All right. Some of you who have heard why we went to buy property within just a span of 2 years, 2.5 years, we buy two. It's not because we are risky. We are not. Okay. There's a definition between being risky and taking risks. All right. I'll never do risky stuff, but I know how to take certain risks, and I need to speed up in terms of my creation of wealth, because I already lost 10 years of my time when I don't know nuts about property. Today, if I'm able to do something right, I can only do two ways. Either I buy more properties to catch up my last 10 years, or I buy bigger properties to catch up my 10 years. Right. So not everybody, of course, have the ability to do all this, but I'm just saying that if today we look back and we ask ourselves, how many more 10 years do we have to use our age as a leverage for property? You will know the answer for yourself. Okay. So one of the other question is, when do you want to make a move? How would you like to retire? Okay, I do cover some sessions about retirement plans. So a lot of my clients, they always think that, hey, why you sound like a financial advisor? I said I am, but I don't do investments. I don't do insurance. My financing planning does in property. How do you use property as a savings mechanism for you, like endowment plan, right? Plan it longer. So not only you yourself for your own retirement, most importantly is after you are covered for yourself in terms of retirement, how's your legacy for your kids going to be? I think that is also very important. If we have access, why don't our next generation take a head start, a head start through you to start on their property journey? We have helped many in terms of their second generation to start even when they're 18 years old, when they're 21 years old. Recently, we've done one, even when they're 6 years old, we already start their journey. All right. So have you sit down and properly planned? Maybe this is your first time that you have joined this community. This is the first time that you're hearing me. Great. But remember, hearing, knowing, it doesn't do you anything. Sometimes putting it into perspective, using numbers, okay? Numbers to tell you whether you should do or not. That is more logical. All right. So one thing is how can you also continue to turn your property into an asset? I think this is something that we all want to make sure that this is happening. How are we going to do it? All right. So I leave you with one statement. This is very important because this is something that I truly believe. Oops, where is it? All right. When you buy a real estate, right, you are not to buy today. You are supposed to buy it into the future. Whatever happens today happens today. But when you buy a property, you need to sell it one day eventually. So why not we plan from the exit strategy point of view first, and then we work backwards. How are we going to exit the property? And then we start seeing how are we going to look at it. All right, so you guys have been great. And if for those who are still not in my Telegram group, right, I want you to also scan this, add yourself into this Telegram group, because this is where the private teaching and coaching comes. All right, I do very short videos in the Telegram group so that you yourself can also get some new latest relevant updates here.